In this modern day and age, the world is currently operating in the Anthropocene era, which has both positive and negative impacts on society, but above all, on the environment. The Anthropocene is the present period of time in which human action is the defining cause of environmental and geological change. There has been a massive increase in human population since the Industrial Revolution, therefore increasing the amount of human activity and environmental effects this activity creates. Human activity ranging from oil spills, plastic pollution, and CO2 emissions all lead to negative impacts on the environment that all need to be talked about in order to start finding permanent solutions.
The amount of plastic in the ocean can truly be hard to fathom. In just the North Pacific Gyre, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch covers a surface area close to twice the size of Texas. It's one of 5 garbage patches in the 5 gyres of our oceans. Most of these plastics are broken down into microplastic, which are microscopic pieces of plastic often too small to be seen by the human eye. Though they've been broken down into small particles, the oil base in these plastics takes hundreds of years to break down. Unless we take action, plastic pollution will continue to grow and suffocate our oceans further. Marine plastic pollution causes a variety of issues that contribute to global climate change. Plastic is commonly treated with hazardous chemicals such as flame retardants, which are then leached into ocean water and unknowingly consumed. Marine life that is affected by this experience troubles with their immune responses as well as having lower reproductive rates. As a result, populations and biodiversity are decreasing drastically. Biodiversity loss causes changes in trophic level ecology. So basically, if there's less populations to contribute to the food chain, there is going to be mass extinctions of other populations as a result. And excess of decomposing animals and plants will use up more oxygen than the ocean can replenish naturally, which will also create dead zones that cannot support what life is left. As this is a global issue caused by humans, it's imperative we take immediate action to stop dumping plastic waste, as well as find effective methods of removing it from our oceans.
Oil spills occur as a result of either a tanker or cargo ship, oil rigs, or underwater pipelines that have spilled oil, but oil spills can also happen from onshore activities as well. Cleaning up an oil spill is no walk in the park. It costs a lot of money and time to clean up a spill. Larger spills can cost hundreds of millions of dollars. What is most concerning is that an oil spill does not need to be large in quantity for the spill to have a serious impact on the surrounding area. Ecosystems and wildlife caught in an oil spill arguably suffer the most, especially fragile organisms like coral, or large systems of coral call the South Pacific Ocean home. For humans, consumption of animals that have been within the range of oil spills or high concentrations of oil puts our own health at risk for such problems as toxic contamination or reproductive issues, which both have detrimental side effects. Toxic compounds can cause severe health problems like heart damage, stunted growth, immune system effects, and even death. Oil spills have been known to destroy well-known tourist nature spots, which lowers the number of tourists, impacting tourism and hospitality industries, while also disrupting fishing industries in those regions. Cleaning up an oil spill is no walk in the park. I didn't realize that was...
Human activity results in the release of many greenhouse gases, which are the main contributor to climate change. Climate change is one of society's most prevalent planetary boundary exceedances, which leads to the process of ocean acidification. Ocean acidification is one of the world's most prominent issues. This entails the decrease in pH levels of the ocean due to the ocean uptaking atmospheric carbon dioxide, hence the increase in acidity. The process severely degrades the ocean and the life it supports, including humans, particularly humans who live in geographic regions that depend on the ocean as a means of survival, such as the South Pacific. Ocean acidification is an extremely prominent dilemma in regards to today's environmental health. It affects the world through means of negative social, economic, and political factors, and because it is a man-made problem, it is up to mankind to create the solution. Developing countries and regions such as the South Pacific that participate in the least amount of detrimental human activity to perpetuate ocean acidification suffer the most in effects in terms of food security and economic loss. Food insecurity is an issue in developing countries such as the Cook Islands because the citizens depend on fish and shellfish to eat. But fish are moving away from the warming tropics and shellfish are dissolving in the acidity, leaving scarce food situations for these nations. Many countries, such as Fiji, also rely on tourism of coral reefs to maintain the economy, and when coral is bleached through ocean acidification, that heavily impacts life there. Possible solutions include strict international policy to reduce carbon emissions, consuming fish that are not as affected by acidification in order to preserve the ones that are currently experiencing higher death rates, as well as individuals engaging in fewer anthropogenic activities that contribute to climate change.
In order to obtain the solution for pollution in this anthropogenic era, humans need to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions, paying more attention to litter and being more mindful of the effect on the environment. Policies can be implemented to cap emissions for factories and other mass greenhouse gas emitters. Government agencies and outside organizations help a lot to monitor and provide the necessary resources to prevent and stop ocean acidification, oil spills, and plastic pollution. Big changes in energy resources would have the biggest direct impact on helping to lower environmental damage. Physical resources can be put into ocean acidification, oil spills, and plastic pollution research and funding to begin aiding and protecting marine life such as coral and shellfish. The Earth is our home, and it is up to humans to take on the responsibility of protecting it.